Finding the equation of a line. An equation of a line can be written in this form: y equals mx plus b. We refer to that as the slope-intercept equation. We call it that because the m in this equation represents the slope of the line, and the b in this equation represents the y-coordinate of the y-intercept. Those two are numbers, and the x and the y are the variables in the problem. If you know those two pieces of information, well, then you can write the equation of a line. So first, let's look at a couple of graphs. Here I have a graph, and it looks like it goes through this point and this point. So if I want to write my equation in y equals mx plus b form, I've got to know my slope and my y-intercept. In order to find my slope, I need to count from one point to another point, the rise over the run. So in this problem, my rise is 4, and my run is -3. So my slope is 4 over -3, which is -4/3. My y-intercept is this point here. So that is the point 0, 4. So that tells me that I can use a 4 for the b. So I'm going to put the 4 for b, and I'm going to put the 4/3 for m. So my equation will be y equals -4/3 x plus 4. And that's the equation of that line. The next equation, let's see, I've got this point here, then it looks like I've also got this point here. So again, I need my slope and my y-intercept. So to get my slope, I'm going to do rise over run again. My rise here is 1, and my run is 2. So the slope would be 1 over 2. And the y-intercept is the point 0, -2. So that tells me the -2 is going to go in for the b, and the 1/2 is going to go in for the m. So I get the equation y equals 1/2 x minus 2. Plus a -2 is the same as -2. So y equals 1/2 x minus 2 is the equation of that line. Notice that my first line, as you look at your line from the left to the right, your line is going down. That shows up in the equation as a negative slope. My second line, as you look at it from the left to the right, is going up. And it ended up having a positive slope. Here, we don't have the graph, but we have the information that we need about the line. In this first example, my slope is -3/4, and my y-intercept is 0, -6. So in y equals mx plus b, I'm going to put my -3/4 for the m, and I'm going to put the -6 for the b. So that'll give me the equation -3/4 x minus 6. And then on the second problem, my slope is 0, and the y-intercept is 3. So when y equals mx plus b, I'm going to put the 0 in for the slope, and the y-intercept, I'm going to use the 3. The y-coordinate of the y-intercept is what you use for b. So that gives me y equals 0x plus 3. But 0 times anything is 0. So I end up with just y equals 3. So that tells me this is a special line. Anytime you have one of your variables missing, you have a special situation here. So let's look at this next slide to figure out what that means. Anytime you have a slope of 0, your graph is going to be a horizontal line. Okay. Your equation will have the form y equals some number. In this case, the one we just did was y equals 3. Now, it could have the number on the other side. It could be something like y minus 3 equals 0, but you could easily add the 3 to both sides to write it in the form y equals 3. So the y equals 3 tells us where that horizontal line is going to lie. If I were to sketch a graph here real quick, y equals 3 tells me I have to go up to the point 0, 3, and then I just draw a horizontal line. If my line is a vertical line, then my slope will be undefined. It'll be undefined because if you were going to count the rise and the run would be 0. Vertical lines go straight up and down. They will always have the form of x equals some number. So I might have an equation like x plus 5 equals 0, but I can, again, write that in this standard form, x equals negative 5, and know that this is going to be a vertical line where the x coordinates are all negative 5. So I would go over to the x-axis to negative 5 and then draw a line going straight up and down.